Okay, architects, so far we've drawn columns, entablatures, and arches. Now it's time to learn about the cool triangle or curve that often sits above the entablature. It completes the top of the entire structure, and it's called the pediment. You may have seen them in some very famous places, like the Pantheon in Rome, the US Capitol building, or even the White House. And today, we're going to draw a triangular pediment. Grab your pencil and let's go. Okay, we're going to start with two columns already drawn in a straight line, and if you want to draw these, you can go ahead and pause the video now and draw those. And if you've already drawn them, that's great. We're going to start with a thin rectangle on top of these columns. And on top of that, overhanging just a little bit, is going to be a larger rectangle. And we'll draw that larger rectangle just like this. There we go. And on top of that, overhanging a little bit more, is going to be a thin rectangle. Okay, looking good. Next, we're going to draw another large rectangle, and that one's going to sit just in line with the other large rectangle. Next, we're going to draw this simple curve, and that curve is going to go on both sides, the right and the left. And we'll draw a straight line to connect that. Looking good. And now, we're going to draw one more thin rectangle on top of that. Connect the straight line. Great. And now, we're going to draw one more thin rectangle on top of that, and you can see it's overhanging just a little bit more, so we're getting wider and wider. Awesome. Now, we're going to draw some molding just below the frieze in the architrave, and it's going to be on that third thin rectangle that we drew. And we're just going to draw this simple molding pattern. Right up, right down, right up, right down, right up, right down. You got it, architects. We're going to go all the way to the end. Takes a little bit of effort and some patience. Before you know it, you'll be at the end. You can take a break or pause the video until you finish. Who's gonna win? I don't know. Me or you? There we go. All right. Okay. Next, we're going to draw a pattern in the second to last rectangle. You can see I've already started. And they're just dashed lines. These are dentils. Dash, 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 and then you just space them. These are just different types of molding that makes the entablature look beautiful. And on top of this entablature, we will build our pediment. Okay, almost done. Great. Now we're finished. On to the next part. Alright, on to the pediment. First thing we're going to do is find the center. So, we can just eyeball it, and I like to draw these dots that just kind of go all the way up. And we're going to make our triangle land right about there at the top on that last dot. So you can erase those dots, or you can just draw a dot right there. And we're going to kind of just sketch a little bit before, real lightly, what we're going to do. First, we're going to draw a diagonal line on the right side and a diagonal line on the left side. And you'll see there's a little curve just on the end of that diagonal line. And now it's really important to see that the line we're going to draw goes from the corner of the rectangle there, not the top of the line we just drew. Great. Okay. Next, we're going to draw a line down the center at the top of the triangle. And then, did you guess it? We are going to connect those lines. And now we have 2 rectangles. Now we're going to draw one thin rectangle on top and one thin rectangle on the other. Good. This is the molding for our pediment. We'll draw one line coming down. Now inside this large rectangle, we're going to draw one thin line there and one thin line on the other side. A thin rectangle, a big rectangle, and a thin rectangle. And then, that line that we drew down, we're going to draw a line right in the middle that connects down. Same there. And then, finally, one last line on the bottom that connects all the way down. We're going to draw one thin line right there and one thin line on the left side. Good job. Okay, and finally, we're going to add some dentals inside this rectangle right here. Good job. And you want to try to draw those in line with the dentals that are on the entablature. Good job. We'll do that on the other side. Good job, architects. We drew our entablature with an architrave, a frieze, a cornice, and then the pediment on top. This is fantastic. Now, inside you can draw something special. In this area here, you can put whatever you like. Images that represent symbols of your community, or people that are important, or values that are important like trust, respect, love. Can you think of people in your community that represent those values? If not, ask your parents. You're a pediment pro. Can you think of a place in your own city or town that has a pediment? Now you have the knowledge and skills to draw one. Maybe your town needs a new one. Maybe your town needs a new building that has a pediment that tells a story. You're the architect. Your imagination decides. Let's see what you come up with. See you next time.